What up, guys? It's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life of Missouri.
Hey everyone, this is Evan with Turf Nerds, a lawn care podcast.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
And you're listening to the Lawn Care Talk with Tony Rudolph.
What's up, guys? So I got another special guest in the house. I mean, he's not actually in my house, but he's on the phone. And so we got another great podcast coming for you today. We're on different sides of the state. He's in a little bit more South Georgia than me, but just by a couple of hours. And it's really cool. We met up at the expo. His name's Jake Scott. He's a great guy. And he's going to tell us a little bit about his story. And during the winter, he actually does another interesting type job. But yeah, bud, so how you doing? How's your day been going?
Oh, it's been doing good. Doing well.
So
how about yourself?
So how did so I met you at the expo, and you came, was it your first time at the expo? Did you come because you listened to Paul's podcast, or like how did that come about?
Yes, Paul has been the biggest influence, but this was my second year and really enjoyed it.
Oh, so you already came. I thought it was your first year. You already came before.
That's right, yes. Yeah, second year.
I think you and your wife did say that you had been, or that you had been one other time, and
it was her first year. That's what it was.
Gotcha. So did she give it a thumbs up that she came, or what?
Yes. Yep.
So did she? Yeah. She enjoyed herself and all that. So I'm saying.
She did. Yes. Yeah. She's already expecting to go back next year.
Well, it's less than a year away, so I don't know, whatever it is, 10 months or something. So yeah, it comes up faster than you think, and so yeah, I'm trying to think about that now, like, because even we even like, so last year, like around this time, I already like found a hotel and booked it before the year was even over, like for my tax reasons, and so I didn't even buy any hotel like during 2024. So I'm trying to do that again, because they only just get more expensive and harder to get as you go closer. So yeah, so
that's true.
I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on that even now as we speak. So yeah, did you guys stay at a hotel last time, or did you stay at Airbnb, or how did you do that?
We stayed at a hotel downtown, and
that's cool,
right next to the Yum Center.
Oh, that's great. It's busy down there.
Yes,
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, those are good ones to do. But I really like the ones right next to the expo center, because I don't do a lot of the stuff downtown. So, I mean, yeah, it's just in the morning it can be a little. Did you have trouble like with traffic coming out of there in the morning, or no?
It wasn't too bad. Just about normal. I mean, on the way up, we had to drive through Atlanta traffic, so it was nothing compared to that.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, man, it was awesome to meet you guys, and it's cool. You know, when me and my wife are there, and you know, as we meet people, you know, we make friends for a lifetime, and so that was a cool thing. It was a cool thing to meet you and your wife, and it's just, I'm sorry it's taken me this long, but you're on the list of people that I told you I was going to get you on the podcast, so I'm just doing what I told you I would do. Not that I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to like check a list. I wanted to get you on here anyway, but I'm just want to make sure I follow through on some of these more recent ones before I move on to other ones. So thank you so much for taking your time on pretty short notice, you know, and coming on here. So that's really cool.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the invite.
So tell us a little bit, like, how and why did you get into the lawn care business? Like when you first started, like how many years ago was it? Like tell people that, because people relate to those stories, you know, whether it's short or long or however you got in, or, you know, people want to know those things. So tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I guess way back in around 2015, 2016, I started working for a family friend. Let me add, I worked shift work at the time, so I had a lot of free time, and I started working for this elder friend, and I just went from there and kind of turned it into a paying hobby, is what I like to call it. And from there, I just started plans of maybe doing it full time one day. So for around 15 to well, even now I still do it part time, but I've built it up over and over the years and added equipment, added more yards, and it's just I wanted to keep it small.
But you still have a pretty good number of yards, and like how many months a year are you doing it?
Year round for the most part, but it really drops off in the wintertime. I just touch up yards in the wintertime. That's about it. Chopping up leaves and putting out pine straw and mulch.
Yeah, that's great. And so do you so you're still, so it's not totally stopped even right now, it's just more sporadic. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I actually did a little bit of work this past Thursday. So,
that's really cool. Yeah, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's not. I mean, it pretty much slowed down to almost nothing right now.
Which that can be a blessing. It can give you a little time to think about things maybe that you want to change when season comes around again in just a couple of months, So that's pretty cool. That's the upside to it, So
Yep, and I try to spend as much time with my family as I can.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your family. Tell us, like you're married, you have kids, like that kind of thing. Give people that kind of setup too.
Yes, so I married my wife Hannah back in 2013, and since then we've had two boys, Jack and Jace. They're 9 and 5 right now, and they're a handful. I have to tell them no all the time because they want to leave the house and go with me and help cut grass too. So,
well, that's great.
Hoping in the future to have them tagging along with me.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. So pretty similar timeline as me. I mean, we got married in 2012, August of 2012, and we have a 7-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter, and they're busy as well, but they're a blessing in our life as well. And I the older that they get, the more I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
definitely.
It's it's all cool and stuff, and they're babies and spitting up and all that. But it's way better in my opinion. Like when they're like now, they can. We're talking about adult conversations as we drive down the road, and why is this like this? And like it's really really neat. And so I'm looking forward to years ahead too. All of the times of coming of when they get older and that kind of thing. So that's really cool. And I hope it's something they're not going to be forced to work with me, but if it's something they will be forced to do something. And so they, if they want to join in on this gang or start their own thing like mine or whatever, like that would be cool. That would be really cool. So that's great. And
Same here.
How are things going at your house? You showed me a picture. You have a beautiful house down there. And it had got a little bit of storm damage or stuff.
Yep. Well, thank you. Yes, we bought it a little over a year now. It's a family house, my grandparents' house, and I was lucky enough. I'm the oldest grandchild, so I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to buy it, and we're still got Christmas lights up, and just loving it.
Yeah, I mean, I say leave those Christmas lights up for a while. Might as well. They just put them up there because Christmas was fast this year. Like,
it sure was.
Yeah, like kind of how the weeks played out. Either that or I'm just like getting old, or stuff like that. So, because I feel like it's Christmas. Like a few months you turn around, boom, it's Christmas again. So, like I feel like even though summer's really hot and stuff, I feel like it goes by very quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a blessing. So, do you guys, were you like local for Christmas, or are you going out of state, or do you have family close, or how does that work? Because you said it's your grandparents' house, but
yes, all family is close. My side of the family is within 10 minutes. My wife's side's within 10, 15 minutes. So everything
awesome.
was here close by.
Yeah. Tell people a little bit about your setup. Like, what do you like to run? Because I know you're mowing kind of big properties. Like, tell people love that because they love to hear about like what mowers you have and that kind of thing.
Yes. Well, like I told you, most of my yards are what I call big country yards.
Mm-hmm.
My smallest one maybe takes an hour. That's doing it running solo.
Yep.
So it goes from an hour up from there. But I like the acreage. I'd rather cut a large yard than smaller in-town yards.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
But I run a Gravely ProTurn 260.
Okay.
The 60-inch.
Yep.
It does good.
Do you have
I got
suspension seat on it?
Yes. Oh, when I upgraded from my last mower, I had to have a good seat to be able to take the riding all day.
Oh yeah. It makes a huge difference, doesn't it? The suspension seat is like a night and day
That's right.
difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going. What about like the trailer and all that stuff?
Currently I have a 7x16 enclosed trailer.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
A few years ago I upgraded from an open trailer to that. I realized that keeping your equipment out of the elements, out of the sun, it just makes them last a lot longer.
Yeah.
So I was blessed. I saved up the money and bought the enclosed trailer. So I have everything stored in there, and I pull it with a Silverado 1500.
Oh, that's nice.
Hope to plan to upgrade to a bigger truck.
Yeah, because you definitely feel that double axle one behind the half-ton truck for sure.
You do, yes. Spending a lot of gas money on that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what color is your, like, so you can help people picture your setup? Like, what year is your Silverado? What color is it? What color is the trailer? It's a 16-foot enclosed trailer, but like, what is it? Describe to us what it looks like. Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of the color silver.
Okay.
So or that silver, that pewter color. So both the truck and the trailer are both silver.
Oh, that's great.
Currently, I do not have any logos on it, but so it's a open canvas to put something on it in the future.
Yeah, that's really neat. So, and then the Silverado, is it like a 4-door? Is it long bed? Like, describe the truck.
Extended cab. It's a 2000s model.
Oh, that's awesome. I love those ones. So it's
Yep.
So it is the rounded front. So that's before the cat eye one.
Yes.
So it kind of looks, well, it looks the same as like the GMCs even a few years later with the rounded front headlights, like the cat eye, but they're rounded. Yeah, that's really cool. Like my dad had 06 GMC, but it's still but it would look exactly like the one you had.
Yes.
Or the one you currently have, because only the Chevys got kind of like that sharper ones on the front. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's right. Yep. And it's got some miles on it, so it's over 200,000 miles. So it's still holding me out.
Oh, that's great. No, I think that's awesome. That's the way to go. I mean, I'm driving the truck I have is close to 200,000 miles, and it's a great thing. I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. I'm not going to waste a pile of money, on a truck, that I run around and mow grass with, and I'm just.
That's right.
Let's do other things with our money, because guys, remember out there, I like tax-wise, I do the miles on my truck. So even though my truck has a lot of miles, and it's never had a payment on it since I've owned it, which I bought it in maybe 2016 or 17. And you get 53 cents a mile of work miles here in the state of Georgia. I'm not a tax pro, but guys, think about this. So if I've had this truck for 7 seasons now, I paid $14,000 for it because I bought it when I only had 100,000 miles on this Ram truck I have, or 110 or whatever. But so if you think about that, so if I'm writing off, so I have around 12,000 work miles a year because I'm not driving too much nowadays, which is a blessing, for work. And so that's, roughly 6,000 a year. So I paid $13,900 whatever for the truck. After tax and everything, it was $15,000 that I walked out of the door with, And if you add up that math, I've now have a tax benefit of $42,000 on a truck that I paid $14,000 for. So, guys out there, don't get it twisted on this fact. Oh, I have to buy this $80,000 truck so I have the tax write-off. Like, nope, you sure don't. So
No,
anyway, I
not
don't
even
know.
close.
Yeah, I don't know why I've thrown that in there, but I just like if you think about that, the tax benefit that I've gotten off. Yes, I've done repairs and a whole bunch of repairs, over the years. A lot of those ones I've done myself, which that also benefits me because, see, if I'm writing off the miles, I don't get to write off repairs and gas and that kind of thing. So, so that means, if I can make a repair myself, well, that's just, kind of double money going back in my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's exactly how I do it, and that's how you get a max write-off, even with an old truck. And so, yeah, I do not need to go take a huge 70,000, 50,000, whatever you want to call that chunk and put that into a truck. I don't do that. If even if tomorrow my engine went out on my truck or something major like that, I think I would just pay to replace the engine and keep moving. That's what I would do. So, and even in your case, man, if you could just get for that 7x16, if you could get, even if you want to get something a few years newer that was like a 3/4 ton truck, boom, you'd be in business.
And that's all I would upgrade to, because no way I'm gonna buy a brand new truck. So a few years newer, a little bit bigger. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my dad had his was a 2500 GMC. His it looks just like yours, but man, that thing was a great truck with the 6-liter. It was just a gas burner.
Yeah,
man, those are really good. I'm assuming you probably have the 5.3 in your truck.
that's correct.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, but the 6.0, man, that thing has a lot more power. Like you wouldn't think it's that much difference, to 5.3 to 6.0, but in my opinion, like it's it's a beast. It's a beast of an engine and transmission stuff. So even them older GMs, and then if you can get it pre-08, then you don't have to deal with like the cylinder shut off thing and all that, which I think a lot of the heavy duty trucks, 3/4 ton stuff are kind of don't have that. I don't think anyway, but yeah. So all those things are considered. It's kind of like, man, and I just have so many friends with these new trucks, and it's almost like the newer they are, the worse they are. I have
more to tear up.
Yeah, I mean, I have several friends like with these. They spend all kinds of money on these trucks, and man, and things. It's one thing after another. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm throwing this thought in there. It's just, just proving it to guys that, hey, you're running an old truck. I'm running an old truck. You can still get tax benefit from it, and keep moving, keep making money. That's the whole purpose we're doing this. Because if if you spend $80,000 on a truck, you got to mow a lot of lawns to recoup that.
A lot.
Yeah. And that would, if people actually ran the math on that, it would make them sick of how long it would actually take before they actually making money. You know what I mean? Like it's, yeah. If they really, they're just not thinking about that, or they wouldn't do it. So anyway, rant's over, but yeah. So anyway, I love the truck. So it's silver with silver trailer, extended cab. So you got to open the front door, then open the back door kind of setup, I'm guessing.
Yes. That's right.
And then is it like a short bed, long bed? 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive?
Yeah, just a short or regular. Yeah, it's not the long bed. And 2-wheel drive.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I only buy 2-wheel drive pickups because I do not drive off-road, and I'm not interested in really fixing extra drive shafts and transfer cases and just all this stuff. CV axles on the front because we're in Georgia. We have no salt, no snow, none of that kind of thing. No ice really, unless something really weird goes down, but that's pretty rare.
That's right.
So, which I mean, there are certain business setups where maybe you should get a 4-wheel drive, and maybe you're, even if you're in the South, maybe you're doing a lot of tree servicing, you're driving into backyards or something. I mean, if you need it, you need it, but for me,
well, I have had 4-wheel drive before, and I believe in them.
Yeah.
The next truck, probably yes. Just to have that extra cushion there in case you run into problems.
Oh yeah, it's not a bad thing. But it is just, extra stuff you have to fix. And then if you have to rebuild the transmission, obviously it's about double, because you got drivetrains going out both directions, and it's a whole thing. But
That's right.
I'm just saying there are definitely some benefits to just having a 2-wheel drive pickup. And but yes, 4-wheel drive, yes, that can definitely improve your capability of getting something unstuck or unstucking someone else, or it's and there's a lot of it's cool now with the internet. I mean, you can find if you're willing to drive a couple hours, man, you can find any truck that you want, used. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not scared of a marketplace find.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll drive. I'm not scared to get on the road and drive to find the right deal.
Yeah. So, man, that's a beautiful setup. What trim level is it? The one you have?
Just a LT.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So is it
nothing fancy? It's just a basic.
Is it like gray cloth interior? What is it?
That's right.
Okay,
yes.
That would be my guess. Yeah, it's just it's cool how I like how the dashes look and all that on that particular body style. Because my dad also had an '02 Chevy Tahoe, so that's going to be kind of same dash and same lights and everything as the Silverado pickup, basically.
That's right, and I've had the same Tahoe also a few years newer too. So yeah, it's all interiors basically the same. All those year models.
I currently we have a 2007 Tahoe that my wife drives, and so that is like the very first year of the new style. It kind of looks the same up until I don't know, 2015 or something like that, 14.
That's right.
So it has that kind of look, like the more boxy look, which I do like that body style. That's the Tahoe we have right now. I drove it to the expo and all that. Oh boy, I think we got 240 on that thing. Yeah. So it's
yeah. We've had the same one too. We had a 2000 and oh man, I don't forget now. 2008 maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Tahoe, and I want to say we put around 260 on it before we got rid of it. And we're big Chevrolet fans, so I bought my wife another Tahoe. So
yeah. I mean, my dad, he has a 2010 now. It looks exactly like mine. Same color, same wheels, everything. Just, it's white, LT, everything. And then also, my wife's parents have a 2008 maybe, but it's the LTZ Suburban, so
yeah.
Also basically same setup, but the thing is, the one thing that's kind of a blessing about the 07 is '08 is when the AFM comes in,
Yes.
And so you kind of get to bypass that, which my dad because I done it to my truck, there's this little module that you can buy, and you just turn the ACC on. Each time when you turn the key on, just don't fly, when you're twisting it, and then it basically bypasses it every time. It's not a permanent tune. You could always pull that out of OBD2 port, and then it's right back to normal. But that's what I have. I have that on my Ram truck too, because I've had a few issues with that, and it just kind of keeps it on V8 mode.
I got you.
And it's cool. So what were you saying? So you have a Tahoe still now?
Yes, I bought my wife a 2018 Tahoe.
Oh, those are sweet.
So, yep, it's really nice. We drove took it up there to Kentucky.
Is it silver too, or is it something else?
Yep, you guessed it right. It's silver too.
Yeah, those newer Tahoes. I mean, they're some of the nicest vehicles that you will ever see inside, in my opinion. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff is nice nowadays, but man, those Chevys like that, really, really nice. I mean, I'm not really brand loyal, but I do like, I mean, there are pros and cons to all the brands,
That's right. Yeah.
So that's neat. So that's your setup. So you even have a matching newer Chevy Tahoe already silver that already matches your trailer and stuff.
You gotta have mom in the nice vehicle.
Yeah, we're planning to upgrade the one that we have pretty soon. We might, don't tell anyone, but we might actually buy a minivan. So I don't know.
Well, they're nice too.
Yeah. But yeah, and actually I just bought, which I didn't even tell people on here, but I just bought a small, well, it's not small. I mean, it's just a regular 6x12 that I'm going to use on some of the my high-end routes where you just use the one mower. An enclosed trailer anyway. I just bought one. I went down to Byron, Georgia, and bought it for $29.95 brand new, and that was cool. Because nowadays that's really cheap. I mean, 5 years ago they were half that much, but
Oh yeah.
but nowadays, I mean, any trailer dealer I know, at least around where I am, I talked to like 10 or 12 of them. I mean, they're 4,000, 4,200. I mean, just for a basic, single axle, what I'm saying, like 6x12 trailer, enclosed trailer. It's crazy because, like I said, I've owned 3 or 4 different enclosed trailers over the years, and I mean, you could buy new ones for $2,000, $2,500, like the one I have all day, a few years ago. But it's just kind of crazy how things are. Like they basically have doubled, So,
what I did, I kept putting it off, and I told myself I'm gonna buy one this year. Well, then the next year they went up $1,000, and it just kept going up and up and up. I shouldn't have put it off as long as I did. and then again, you see a bunch of white ones and a bunch of black ones and other colors. It took me a long time to find the silver.
I gotcha.
Nobody wanted to sell the silver.
Wow. So you, so did you like find it used, or did you have to order it like new, or how did that work?
Well, I found it at a dealer. It's a Diamond Cargo.
Yeah, I like that brand. That's cool. Those are nice.
Yep. Yeah, it's I'm satisfied with it.
So but the reason why I mention it, guys, because I'm just updating you a little bit in my life right here just for a minute, but like I plan on, I've never done this before, but since I'm starting to run some of the battery equipment, I want to get that foam board and insulate the ceiling, and then maybe I might put like a 1/4-inch plywood like on the ceiling, and then I want to have some nice like shop lighting in there, and then I want to also pull all the plywood off the walls and put the foam board insulation in there, just so that it's not, because as you know, like on those 100-degree days, within like an hour or two, like it's crazy spike in temperature inside the trailer. Obviously, I'm gonna be opening and closing the door and stuff. Like it's not gonna be perfect. Like it's not gonna be air conditioned, but I'm just hoping to kind of slow down that bare metal hot roof. You know what I mean, and sides and stuff. So I'm trying to like make it the walls and stuff and the ceiling to just be a little more mild inside. So I've never done that like I said, I've had a couple double axle enclosed trailers. I've had many of them over my 20 years, but like I'm gonna kind of build out this one and kind of make it want to make it nice. So I'm gonna do that. And I'll probably I'm gonna have an inverter in there, and that way you can charge up like Milwaukee equipment stuff. I already have a deep cycle lithium battery, which that's really cool. And then I'm probably actually gonna go ahead and put like 110 like shop like LED lights like that you would put like in your garage or something, so like they'll be super bright in there, versus just the little 12-volt ones.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that, and I want to build like a little shelf I've done it on several of my ones, but I want to build a couple shelves in the Vinos, but the bottom one I want it to be like 6 inches or 1 foot more into the trailer, so like that bottom shelf is almost like a little workbench / shelf. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So there's a lot of things I want to build in there, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and put another layer of plywood on the floor too, because I don't know how yours is, but a lot of these manufacturers, brands I've had over the years, like they have the sideways strips, and they're like self-tap screws a million times into those joists, and then the mowers over months or years of riding it tries to pull those screws up, like where the beams are, on the floor. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
So
I have to tighten mine up every so often.
Yeah. So what I did on my last trailer I just got another couple sheets and run them the other direction. You know what I'm saying? And that it makes a huge difference because you're kind of just spreading the weight out. And it doesn't.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's cheap. Just get the thickest, cheapest plywood you can. throw down one sheet and then you have to rip that second one, or you could kind of decide where you wanted the seam, so you could put the seam like in between the two wheels on the mower, so that, like, it doesn't even touch where the seams are. Yeah, so that's something. I've on one of my other trailers, I just bought one sheet and threw it right down the middle and screwed it down. But this time, I want to like fill in the whole floor with like a second level, just for fun. Yeah, so those are some things. I think those will make big difference. Some small changes like that, and I want to get one of those little waterproof. You drill like a 2.5-inch hole like in the wall, and then it's basically so you could like plug extension cord on the outside of the trailer, and then on the inside, you have an extension cord so you could like charge up your deep cycle battery or whatever. But that way you're not having to like run extension cord through a hole in the floor and do all that. So kind of a little bit more legitimate way to do that. And that's probably like, I think they're only $22 or something for that kind of setup. So I want to get that too. Just some kind of small random things like that. And so I'm planning on kind of building it out just to kind of make it nice, for me and us as solo guys. I mean, these enclosed trailers it's unlimited what you could do with them. You know what I'm saying? You could put a little fridge in there. You could put like a microwave. You could put a bathroom in there. I mean, it's kind of unlimited, with these enclosed trailers of what you can do. It's just kind of like, it's almost like a little RV that's empty and you can kind of do whatever you want, So that's what's really cool about them. Aside from this, the safety and the advertising and all that, it is kind of cool that you could make them exactly like you want. It's a little, I don't know, if I was running 50 cruiser stuff, would I have all them running enclosed trailers? Probably not, but because they would, break them and tear them up and not see behind, not do good backing them up and stuff. But for guys like me and you, man, it can be perfect. It's kind of like your little mobile shop. You know what I mean? So
that's right. It doubles as your office, your shop, your storage unit. All combined together, and then the outside is your billboard.
Right. Right.
There's many pros to running an enclosed trailer.
Yeah, I mean it is unlimited if you think about it. I mean, you could put air conditioning and stuff in it if you wanted to just kind of keep the back door up and it's unlimited what you can do. Like you're saying, it could be, and that way if you need to, through the day, let's say you need to stop and send a customer an invoice or something, you could sit at this little workbench / desk thing that I'm talking about, and then, you could use it for that. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. And then, like, because it's in the V-nose and then in the studs of the wall in the V-nose, like, no legs or anything, so you could still pull a mower underneath it, but then it could also be a shelf, and it could also be like a little work desk, so like that's what I'm envisioning for this one. So I just picked up. That's a
good idea.
Yeah, I just picked up the trailer, like, I don't know, like very recently, like a week or two ago, so I haven't really got around to actually building stuff on it. But yeah, I'm going to do that because right now is when we got to do those random things, because, once it comes springtime, we start doing pine straw and all the million things. Like, it's going to be hard to have time to, design, insulate the ceiling, do all these things, you know what I mean? Because that's all this stuff it takes time. But for not a lot of money, you can kind of do some of these things to kind of outfit it you want. I never painted any of mine too, and that's something I want to do. Like, I would like to like paint the walls white and everything, just like make it feel bigger in there. With the white color, just like it does inside a house or stuff like that. So that would be cool too. Get whatever kind of cheap exterior paint that they have. That's kind of a whitish color, and boom, roll it on the walls. I want to do that too.
Yep.
Like you're saying, I mean, it's just, there's so many things that you can do with one of those. It's cool. It's really cool. So anyway, back to your business. My weekly update and rant is over. I've been blowing a lot of leaves. We have a lot of trees here. A lot of houses are sort of in the woods. So I've been running that new Redmax EBZ 9000 every day. And that's a beast of a blower. Have you seen those? Have you used one of those yet?
I have not. No, I have a steel.
I'm sorry.
450. Yeah, but it does me good. I know I bought something. I didn't need a great big blower. I just wanted something that blow the sidewalks off good.
No, the 450 is a great unit because that's a 2-stroke unit. again, 20 years of running every single model of steel that they have back to front. Those BR600s, I've used those for thousands of hours,
Yeah.
That's kind of like the industry standard of a blower or whatever. But, man, yeah. I mean, even the Steel 800, because I own that one too, I mean, it's not even close to, some of these newer, like, even the new, like the Echo 9010 is good, but the Red Max 9000 is kind of like a whole nother level because it is, it's auto-tuned. So it's like, picture kind of like EFI, if that makes sense. Still has a carburetor, but it's like 11 times a second. It's checking if it's lean or rich or whatever. So you're always getting optimum power, and also helps your fuel efficiency a little bit. But they are 1,245 CFM, so it has an 8-inch blower tube. So
that's putting out a lot of air.
Yeah. So I mean, there are pros and cons to it. Like I do not plan to use it, when you're just like blowing off grass clippings or stuff like that. It's too much of a blower. It's an 80 cc engine on your back and everything. It's like a small dirt bike,
Yeah.
What I mean? But during leaf season, you can clean leaves across the lawn as fast as you can walk across it. Like it's cool. It is really cool for that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So are you planning on coming to Expo this time?
Yes. If the Lord willings, me and my wife will be there again. The year before, me and my dad and my brother went, and they enjoyed it. And then this year it was just me and my wife. So I see her coming again, and we'll probably make the trip up there again.
Yeah, that's great.
I think we're gonna turn it into a yearly thing now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Guys out there, you should come hang out with us and 30,000 other guys that are really cool, just like us. Or at least Jake. I don't know if I'm really cool, but at least
No.
him and there are a lot of cool people there. It's a yearly thing for us as well. So guys, start planning now because
lots of fun, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, and it's a tax write-off and all the things. I mean, it's not an expensive trip. The hotel is the worst part of, like the tickets are cheap and everything. The hotel is the hardest obstacle, I guess is what I'm saying.
I heard you got a promo code for this coming year. Is that right?
Hey, how did you know about that?
I had to throw that. I had to beat you to the punchline.
Man, you're awesome. So yes, I have a promo code Tony. That's TONY. Pretty easy. So that'll be cool. And we're definitely going. I'm just we're trying to already start to line things up. It's just it's hard because there are a lot of options, but none of the options are really perfect what I want. So
Yeah.
it's just how it is. But anyway, yeah, so man, you're kicking butt down South Georgia. You're not too far from Dublin, Georgia, right? If people know where that is. Are you actually in the town of Georgia, or is that just one that's close city to your town?
The town I'm in is Wrightsville.
Okay.
Not many people know where Wrightsville is, but so Dublin is our closest big size town next to us.
And most people would not even call Dublin a big size town, but I guess for us that live in the country, yes, like they have a couple of stores and this and that. Yeah.
yeah. For us people that do not have a Walmart close by, Dublin's big to us.
Yeah. So like when I go down, like when I go through Dublin and get on, what is that, 16? Like if I'm going to go to Hilton Head or stuff like that.
Yes.
How far out of the way are you from there? Well, how far are you from Dublin, I guess is what I'm saying.
15 to 20 miles.
Oh, wow. You're close. You're close.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not too bad.
Y'all have to holler at you next time we go down there. We go down there randomly sometimes for a weekend or a couple of days or something. We try to when we get a chance. Because, Hilton Head is pretty close and it's really nice.
That's right.
And the kids go down there and dig in the sand and stuff.
We love going to the beach.
Yeah. Do y'all go to Hilton Head or do you go to Tybee or what?
Hilton Head. We just recently got back from St. Augustine.
Yep. We've been there. That's cool as well.
We like to go down to Florida.
Yes.
Fernandina Beach.
Yep.
We love all those areas.
Mm.
Saint Simons also.
Yes. My parents are huge fans of St. Simons. They actually went there for their honeymoon, I think, back in whatever that was, 91, 92, whatever I think. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. And that's changed a lot over the years. But man, when I was a kid, because they would go there pretty often. There's not a lot there. There's a little more there now, like at St. Simons, than there was. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool down there. My favorite spot of any beach I've ever been to yet, though, is down to Siesta Key in like Sarasota, like where Paul lives now.
Yes.
Over on the Gulf side, like pretty far down. Like you're not that far. Like you're a little bit past Tampa and stuff. So like you're down there a pretty good bit. So if you have the time to drive down there, obviously that's a lot farther and stuff for us and you. But man,
that is nice down there.
Have you been down there over there on that side?
Yes, a few years ago we went down to Treasure Island down there, and beautiful beaches, nice clear water, white sandy beach.
Oh wow, yeah, that's neat. Yeah, so, but I mean, all of it, it is, yeah. I mean, it's nice. Hilton Head's nice too because it is much. It's probably half the distance of that or something. Which for you guys, it's even less than that. I mean, you guys are really because you're already part of the way there from where we are.
Yeah, it's only about a 2.5 hour drive to 2 hours to Hilton Head.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So, how many yards do you do, and what? So you said like they're kind of acreage. So like 1 acre, like 2 acres, like what is kind of property size? Kind of describe that for people.
I'd say my largest one is I cut a park in town, and it's about 4 acres. That would be my largest, and on down to I do have one small in-town yard, but most of everything is an acre to like I said 4 acres in there.
So do you call it a weed eater, or do you call it, what do you call it?
Yes, weed eater.
That's my man. That's the way to go, because these people are like, oh, string trimmer. I'm like, what's a string trimmer?
String trimmer. Yeah, weed whips.
Yeah. I think that's the thing they do up north, which I mean that's kind of cool as well. But anyway, keep going. Yeah. So sorry, I'm getting you off topic again. So we're
oh no, you're
1
good.
acre to 4 acres maybe with an in-town yard that you might do in 1 second, right?
That's right. Yep. It takes longer to unload everything than cut the grass. But yes, I have a handful of commercial places, and then about 15 residentials. So I'm looking at maybe 20 yards.
Oh, that's
20
great.
20 different properties, actual properties.
Right, but that with that kind of acre range is still a lot of hours. That would take to do all those.
Yes.
It's different than if people have 20 that are, an eighth acre, you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's not,
that's right.
Yeah, so it's not really about the number of yards. I mean, someone could have 1 yard that is, a whole town or a whole neighborhood or something that they have to take care of, and, maybe they're only doing 1 yard, but that doesn't mean that they're not doing a lot of work. So what's your opinion, like commercial versus residential? Because that's something that's always a debate too.
I like both. I don't lean one way or the other. I think it's good to have a mixture of both. I know dealing with the commercial clients, it's easier transactions, and just a smooth, show up, do the work, send them an invoice, and that's it. I know with some residentials, you may be sitting there 30 minutes talking
about their granddaughter and all this and that. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, not that that's a bad thing, but
right.
When you're trying to get down the road, to be more productive. So that's a pro and a con. But I like both, because I just like to make yards look better than they did when I showed up.
Yeah. So that's cool. So you do a mixture of both, and obviously, I guess there are pros and cons to both. I've done some of both over the years, and primarily mostly have residential now. But yeah, I always wonder that, because when I look in the magazines of like the top 150 or whatever lawn care companies in the world or the country or stuff, like 80% of them, and even some that do some work here locally, like they only do commercial. And so that always like gives me thoughts to ponder. Like, how come like the highest revenue lawn mowing companies, they only do commercial, and why is that? And like, it's just something that I think about. You know what I mean? And obviously, that has to do with some of what you mentioned. If you have a big crew and stuff, and if they can, go through a place, not have to talk to 50 different Susies and all that. I mean, that can definitely help. But yeah, it's just interesting, because sometimes people say, "Oh, well, commercial no good because you're like competing for the lowest bid and stuff," and sometimes that can be true. But it also seems to me that let's say you're taking care of like this, I don't know, like kind of a condo complex neighborhood or something. I also think that, man, like the bids that they're putting in on that, like they're like all the companies that are big in that, like they're making money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it can go the other way, where like I feel like depending on the situation, you can possibly make more with commercial. But again, you do have that risk, and like even so, like some of these massive neighborhoods, Reynolds and stuff where I live, and they kind of like sub out like all the entrances and just huge different parts of the landscape that get maintenance. And yes, they spend a lot of money on that stuff, but every other year or so it'll be some other different huge company out there, doing it, and so they just kind of bid it out. And it's funny because the neighborhoods, there's probably like a total of 3,000 homes in there, and each of them have almost a full acre. So like, they're all of them that I do are somewhere around like 0.88 or 0.75, or I can do a couple that are like 3 acres, a couple different ones. So anyway, they're not like all stacked together. So they're large neighborhoods, like spread all throughout. And there's huge parts, that are subbed out to some of these big companies. And some big companies have offices and everything set up right here in my area just to do some of these like commercial work, like Yellowstone, like some of these. Yellowstone, I didn't even know, because I've seen them around my whole life over here, but they're like the number 3 or 4 company like in the world, and that's even with like True Green and stuff like that in the mix. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yellowstone, which I guess actually comes out of Florida. I mean, they're a mowing or maintenance company. And it's crazy. The Brightview, whatever, that's number 1, but yeah, so it's interesting. So I wanted to kind of get your opinions on that and your experience, like in your area, about the commercial versus residential. So you're saying you have some of both. Like, do you seem to like?
And
Go ahead.
I thought of something as you were saying, that is with the residential, it can be more personal, and I like to do work that people appreciate. Because I have done some commercial before, and you get done and you feel like your work is not appreciated. I know with your residential, you do get that interaction with the customer, and they show that your work is appreciated. So that's another big thing that I like. Getting the feedback and knowing they do appreciate the work I'm coming to do.
Absolutely. That is one of the huge benefits. I mean, that basically keeps my business going, because, I do have good relationships with 90% of the people, and it's a pro and it's a con, but there definitely are some pros to it. Like, one of my customers, she's a widow, and we have her over for Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving. That lady, she lives in one of these nice neighborhoods. Like, there could be guys, they can put 1,000 flyers there offering $5 less, and she's not going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But on the downside is so she's a widow, and I'm friends with her, and so every time I come there, she's gonna come out and tell me, life update. You know what I mean? So
That's right. Yep.
and I try to keep it short, but on the other hand, I can't just blow her off. I have to listen for a couple of minutes at least. So it's just that, to be honest, like that, as a solo guy, like you're saying, if you go to 5-6 different people's houses and they all come and talk to you, I mean, you can eat up a lot of time in a day doing that, not working, talking.
Real quick.
Yes. And so that's why I always wrestle with this in my mind. Like, man, should I just pick up like one of these big money like accounts that's like a commercial huge thing and just mow it myself and do that? Because then I wouldn't have to deal with talking with these people. But like you're saying, it's the part that's inconvenient about it is the part that really is,
Keeps you going.
saves you. Yes. Yeah. So like the people that are probably come and chat with you the most, well, they're the least likely to just replace you with the next lowest bid. You know what I mean? So,
that's true.
And those are the people that love you and talk to you and all that. Those are the ones that are, their friend comes over for dinner or something. They're going to tell them about you. You know what I mean? So like it's, yeah, I guess it's kind of double-edged sword, or however they say that. Like it's good and bad at the same time, because it's bad because you can waste some minutes here or there, but it's good because they're loyal to you. They'll always pay you, and it's they'll keep you around. So it's kind of, I don't know. But like you're saying, I think we have to learn to just enjoy it. Enjoy it when we go and talk with our clients. We should. I tell myself this, like, hey, I should be thankful that I have all these customers that want to come out and talk to me. Like that's a blessing. Like you're saying, if I only did commercial and nobody ever cared about it, as long as they don't mention anything unless something bad happened, that kind of setup. I mean, that's good, I guess. But after a while, like you're saying, it, if you don't have an old lady come out and tell you how nice her lawn's looking, that definitely, that means something to me. You know what I mean? Probably just like it
That's
does
right.
you and other things too. So, yeah. So I don't know. So, what are you thinking in the future? Are you plan on to always keep the same setup you have, which obviously none of us really know exactly what happens year to year, but like if you could plan it out 3 years from now perfectly just the way you wanted it, do you plan like to go full time and have 50 crews, or you plan to just keep doing the same rhythm that you have now and also work for the other setup, like doing the hay? And you need to tell people what you actually do on your second job too. But like, is it like just like you want it, and like that's cool, if you want it like that, or do you want to go full time, or like what's your thoughts on that?
Probably go full time, but over the years I've been blessed with good jobs that it's hard to walk away.
Yeah.
I always made decent amount of money per hour, that type deal.
Yes.
But it's nothing like working for yourself. As I've grown over the years, I do want to eventually get full time. And well, let me say with the hay that you mentioned, I work for a local farmer that we process hay. So we take, and it picks up in the wintertime. We take round bales of hay, break it down into square bales, and ship that out in containers or van trailers, just all over the state, all over the southeast area, and have shipped it overseas before. So I'm good where I'm at. He's a local farmer, family friend, so I have no problem with staying, but it's nothing like working for yourself.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And with having 2 younger boys, I'm blessed with them, that I'm hoping, and I'm not going to push it on them, but I'm hoping they will join me in the future. And so I don't want to get too big. I'm thinking maybe just stay solo. Maybe add a helper in the next few years when my boys get older. Have them as help. Maybe down the road add a crew, but I've just seen it work as being solo, and as over the past, I don't know, however many years I've been doing it, it's been profitable. So it's been a good side job that hopefully I can turn into full-time
Yeah.
one day.
So that's pretty cool. So it sounds like, that you, um, have a great relationship with the other guy that you work for. So, either way that it goes, it's not really bad. But but you're saying you would like to at some point go full time or maybe have one extra crew or something, which I think totally is doable, if you want to do that. Yeah, and that's neat. So you're putting round bales into square bales. Why wouldn't you just bale them as a square bale to start with?
Well,
I know it's a random question, but
yeah. Well, we are real. I don't know the word other than picky with our quality control. When you're baling it in the field, you can't really control the moisture of the hay too well. So we can, bale it up in the field as round bales, bring it and store it and let it dry and cool and all. And then later on, check the moisture, make sure the hay is good, not too high moisture where it will mold. Because that's the problem you run into. You don't want it molded.
Yep.
So yes, people do bale it up square bales in the field, but it's just you can control the quality better if you're
if it's a circle bale
later.
first. And so do they?
Yes, that's right.
Do you have some machine that cuts into square bale? How does that work? Are you just out there? You're out going through those things with a machete? You know what I mean? How are you making it in square bale?
Well, the guy I work for, I don't think he's patented it, but he's come up with this whole system where we send the round bales down a little assembly line, and then it unrolls it and busts it up, to like it would be in the field before you bale it.
Gotcha.
And then another conveyor belt feeds it into the square baler, and then it goes from there. It goes through a bale bearing and puts it into big bundles. So then we take a tractor and pick up the bundle, and then we can go from there to storing it in the warehouse or going straight to a trailer, loading it up on a trailer.
Oh, that's cool. So when it takes it apart, is that when you're checking if you want this group and not this group and that kind of thing?
We'll when the round bale busts open, then we can see the color of the hay, and we check the moisture before that, but just making sure that the hay color is on spec. Also, that's another part of not just with the moisture.
Oh, I gotcha. That's neat. Yeah, because you must have a way of checking it before that, because by the time it molds inside of the bale, it's already too late, at that point. I mean, it's already molded,
Yeah. Well, when we bale it up in the field, we try not to even let it get rained on one time before we collect it up and take it to the warehouse.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Man, that is awesome. Yeah, so you're doing about 20 lawns. You might add more lawns. You might add another crew someday, but I'm really liking your trailer. I'm liking your setup that you have. Oh, also, so you just have the one Gravely. Do you have backup mowers, and what what is your favorite weed eater and stuff like that too?
No to a backup mower, but I do have the little 21-inch push mower that I have to use from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm just crossing my fingers. The Gravely has done awesome. I got almost 900 hours on it.
Yeah.
And been satisfied with that. But more I would like to add, and not no specific brand, but I would like to get a stand-on mower, smaller deck, because I have run into problems with the 60-inch deck not fitting into some fences and all.
Right, and then it could also be a backup mower too, as well, serve as that.
That's right. Yep. But as far as my favorite weed eater, I have a Steel 111.
Okay.
That's my go-to.
The 111 RX, is that the one?
It's I
or
believe
just
it's
the
a
regular?
KM.
Oh, the KM 111. Man.
Yeah, where you can put the attachments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 111, a 110, and then I also have a Echo that Echo's version of the ones you can put the attachments on.
PAS. It's called PAS on the
Yes, that's
the
right.
Echo
That's
Pro
right.
Attachment Series or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it the 2620 or was it?
The Echo, that was my first one I bought. I bought it at Home Depot,
So is it the
and I believe it's
225? PAS
yes,
225?
I believe it's the 225. Yep.
Yeah, those are
Uh,
fantastic. You can't kill those little things. It's only 21
no,
cc. Not a ton of power, but man, I love the way they sound. Like that specific,
they're
the 225. Um
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're really cool. So anyway, so you have
yeah,
that. You start with that or something?
yeah. I started with that because before that I was just using used weed eaters that I had got
Yep.
from people. So I spent the money and bought the Echo,
You went big
and I
time.
ran it. Yeah, I thought I was doing something. I got the blower attachment to go on
Oh
it,
wow. Yep.
and an edger attachment, and so I rocked with that for a few years probably, and then I bought a used steel 110, and then I had a edger attachment for that also. And well, after that, I got all the attachments, the pole
Yep.
saw, and I used the steel blower attachment for a long time until I got this the 450 backpack blower.
Oh wow.
So
I had that.
went
I
from
had that as well because when I started, I just had the motor, a steel KM motor, and then I bought string trimmer and stuff. But like before I even had my own backpack blower or handheld blower or anything, I bought that attachment. Like you're saying, I mean it's similar to the one that's on Echo, and those do work. They're kind of a little bit annoying it's not my favorite blower to use, you know what I mean? But they do work,
yeah.
It's a good idea when you're starting because you can get them for not a lot of money. The attachment.
Yeah, it's good to be able to run the same motor for everything. It saves money in the beginning.
Yes, you're right. Although I bet you that attachment is very similar price as buying a handheld blower right now. Because like you can go.
I hadn't priced them, but I think you're probably right.
So, but and that's always a debate too, because it's like, oh, great, because you don't have to have engine on trimmer and an engine on the blower, engine on the edge or whatever. But then the downside is that when that one engine goes down, all the other ones are, it's down for everything too. So that, yeah, you still need a backup, either way, my opinion. But, yeah, so that's cool. So you hang on to that 225 because like it's cool to have. So that original KM that I can't remember. It's probably like a 2012 model or something like that. Because I've done it my whole life, but I started my own company maybe a year or two before I got married, maybe 2011 or something. So I haven't been doing my own company for 20 years. But anyway, that first piece of equipment I have, like I'm not going to let myself sell that one like that. Because, you have so many memories of like doing those first yards, like with that first.
That's right.
And it was cool because my dad actually got it for me for Christmas. There was a steel, the KM 130. So it's before they had the 131 and 111 and stuff, like the old 130, And yeah, so like I'm still gonna. It's out in my garage right now. I mean, it's it's old. It's leaks and everything. I mean, it needs some TLC to be back to 100%. But yeah, I think it's cool to hang on to it and hang on to the Echo because, like I said, those Echo 225s are so cool. I don't know what it is. Like I love the way they sound. They're super smooth. Like, oh man, I have one of those. For like a couple of years, they have those 2320. So it's like an Echo 225, like a dedicated trimmer, but it has the high torque gearbox on the end, and a couple other changes. I think it actually has a chrome line cylinder instead of like the regular 225 doesn't have a chrome line cylinder. So what that means is it's going to last for more hours and it's going to burn cleaner. But anyway, so it's a basic setup just like the 225, and I actually have one new like in the box, like in my attic, just like as a collector's item, So
I got you.
yeah, so that's cool. So that's what you're running. Do you have like racks inside your enclosed trailer? Like, how do you have that set up?
I do. I have a 3 weed eater rack on the wall. I got mounted. It's no brand. It's a homemade one that was given to me.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
But it holds 3, and then I built my own backpack blower rack.
Uh-huh.
So I got that on the wall also. And just I got a wheelbarrow in there propped up.
Yep.
strapped to
In
the
case you
wall,
need it to
and
move something around.
yep, and I try to keep a ladder with me.
Okay.
Yep. Just I got my weed eater string hung up, and it's good to be organized.
Yeah. It's really having to dig around and look for stuff in there. If you have everything hung on the walls, that's really good. And that's another cool thing about an enclosed trailer is you can, because I've done it several times over years too. You can design and build all kind of different racks and shelving and things because it's not outside, so you can lock up the trailer. Like you don't have to have a locking rack. You know what I'm saying? When it's inside an enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
Mean, I guess technically you still should, if you're in the hood or whatever and you leaving the door down stuff. Yeah, I mean, yes. But in my case and in your case, the kind of areas that we're in, I mean, it's not probably totally necessary.
No.
And and that is another cool thing about an enclosed trailer because it can save you some money, because I have the equipment defender racks and all these different ones on some of my open trailers because I have 2 open trailers as well. And, obviously if you can make something on an enclosed trailer that, saves hundreds of dollars every time you do that. But, I mean, they're just like anything. There are pros and cons to it. The con to an enclosed trailer is that you're dragging a parachute with you down the road,
That's true.
So, but, yeah, overall I think it is better, especially if you want to grow your business and it's kind of like a free billboard, Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do if I'm going to like brand this one that I just bought or or something like that, but it is definitely a good idea because pulling it around anyway, it's a big old blank wall there, So
Yep, everybody will see it.
Yeah. The only con though is that people for the stealing thing, when you have that on the trailer, they know that thing's full of lawn equipment. You know what I mean?
They know what you got then.
Yeah. Because if it's a blank enclosed trailer, they don't know if you're delivering furniture with it. They don't know, what it is. Again, that's depending on where you live. That's hit or miss of that being an issue. But yeah. So that is really, really cool. I definitely want to meet up with you guys at the expo at the latest. But hopefully before that, if I'm coming down that way, I'll stop in. I mean, if I can, if it works out for you guys, and if we can, if we go down to beach or whatever. Because if we go through Dublin, you say you're not too far from there. I mean, Dublin's a good hour, 45 minutes or whatever from where I'm at. But, yeah, that's cool. And sometime,
yep,
if you guys are up this,
stop in anytime.
Yeah, if you guys are up this way, do the same thing. You know where I live, don't you, or do you don't?
Yes, I know about the area. Yeah.
Because there's something to do with AGs and furniture or something y'all talked about when we were at the expo. Right. Yeah, and AGs is close to here. I can't remember if they said they did the Milledgeville one or this one, but yeah, AGs is basically like our only local. Well, it's like one of the only local power equipment dealers that we have. Most everything, you got to go far away for it, but yeah. It's just like a garden, they have plants and stuff and outdoor furniture and stuff, and they sell steel. So we have that.
That's right.
And they're great guys. We're friends with the family and stuff. I could call them right now. I have their phone number and everything. And
that's good to have.
Yeah, they tell me because I've told them because I've been to the expo for 9 years now, and I always tell them man, you guys need to come. You're a dealer. There's so many benefits of you that you could benefit from coming there. And oh yeah, we'll come next year. That kind of thing. Which that just means that means you're not coming. That's what that means.
They're missing out.
Right. Yeah. So if you bump into them, tell them hey, need to come.
Y'all need to go next year.
I always mess with them too. If I'm there and I see a steel product, that is not released yet, I'm like, hey, look what I've seen. You guys are a dealer and you don't know about this. Look,
rub it in a little bit.
Yeah. And sometimes, but usually he'll reply and be like, can you ask him about this and this? And then Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's cool. So you guys, you need to come to the expo. It's beneficial. It's hugely beneficial. I mean, I know for you guys, you guys had talked about it, how it was great for you just to break the rhythm and get away with just the two of you guys. I hope to not come with my kids this year coming up, but we'll have to see how that is. But yeah, so that can also be another benefit too, just to break your normal grind. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You don't even realize how much of a grind we get in every day. You don't really realize it because you just doing what you do. But it's cool to go to a different state, a different scenery, and that kind of thing is hugely beneficial. Just the fact if you just get to talk when you're driving several hours, all that. Yeah. So what else do you got to give the people? Because I need to get you off here. It's getting late. I told you it wouldn't be hard to do this, and we haven't even really dug deep into your business or anything.
That's right, and it's been an hour, so
yeah.
Yep.
It's been an hour 10 minutes actually so far.
Yep. But I don't know. Do you have any more questions?
I don't know. I don't think so. I appreciate, I value your friendship, and that's the most thing. It's not, I don't do this, just because I'm like trying to I don't know, build like a podcast or something. I don't really I make $0 from the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But it's hey, if it can be something where it can help to connect with a lot of guys, that's great. So that's what it is for. And I'm just saying, I'm grateful for your friendship, and thankfully through Paul's podcast and stuff, you're able to connect like that. And that's what I'm saying. It's used as a tool for that. And this, you talking on here tonight, possibly, could be a tool for someone else and help them maybe connect with you or connect with someone else. So I want you to tell people, you said you don't have social media except YouTube. I don't remember you even telling me before that you had a YouTube channel. So what if someone has a question for you? Can they email you, that kind of thing?
Yes. Anybody welcome to, my email address is Scott, SCOTT, JR, and then the number 9 at gmail.com. But yes, I don't post anything on YouTube. I just consume.
I was going to say, I expect to see your, you're out there vlogging yourself, going through your day. You don't do that.
No, I ain't got that brave yet.
Well, it would be cool to show your lawns and stuff sometimes so that people could see, what you're doing.
Yep. But I enjoy seeing everybody else's.
Well, even think about this. Even if you, if you ever decide to do it, if you just mounted a GoPro on your mower, customers will not notice, if you have a GoPro mount. There's so many random little things on there that people, they don't know, a gas cap from something else. You know what I mean? So if you mounted a GoPro on there and you do acreage lawns, and then you get off to pick up a stick or something, they might see you here, there, and then you just did a voiceover of what you're doing and stuff, and sped it up and stuff. I mean, yeah, you could do something even as simple as that, and no setting up cameras, no nothing else, and it could be cool. I tell myself this, that I need, because it's been several years since I've really been in the game of doing the videos. I've made almost 800 videos on my channel, but yeah, I've been out of it for a couple of years, and I don't know if I'm going to get back into it, but something I'm just telling you, especially if you have yards where you can kind of see, if it gets acreage type lawns, man, it could be pretty easy setup. You could do that. Depending, or even some guys, depending on where your trailer sits, you could have it where it's on the side of your trailer, and you can, do time lapse. You go zoom, zoom, back and forth, Yeah,
that's right.
And there's, that way, I mean, there's no cameras even in the yard or anything. Yeah, so that would be cool.
I have posted some pictures to my Google page.
Okay, for your business.
So you can search Southern Lawns of Georgia LLC, and I do have I added that maybe 2 years ago. Got a few reviews on there, trying to build up that, and you'll be surprised the business you get just from having a Google whatever it's called, Google My Business page.
Yeah. I think they change it slightly here, there, years of what it's called, but yes, people get.
Yep. So I do have some pictures posted on there of,
that's really
of my
cool.
work.
So what we're going to do is, yes, you just said both those things, but we are, you're going to send them both to me. You're going to text them to me, and we're going to put them in the description of this so that they could, click on your Google, link or whatever, and or your,
Okay.
and we'll put your email down there. And yeah, and again, well, actually, it's not again because I didn't tell you this, but I want to have you on, as we get to know each other more, and as we get, there's plenty more things that we will talk about in the future. Like, it's not like a one-time thing on my podcast. You understand what I'm saying? I want to have you on again. And hey,
Okay. Well, that sounds good to me.
yeah, and it's I'm honored that I got to do maybe your first interview, but I don't think it'll be your last. So you're gonna be on here plenty more times, and I'm sure many other guys and stuff too. So other lawn podcasters that are out there listening to this, hey, you better hit him up if you want to get him on your show too. He's expensive.
Well,
He's expensive, but if you can get him on there,
no, you're expensive. I owe you a ton for this.
no way. Well, anyway, but I know, man, you've been out in your truck recording this.
Yes, with the kids running around, I stepped out to the truck to get a little peace and quiet. So,
Well, man,
you're
you're
it's
out.
about time to go in and go to bed.
Yeah. It's 9:44 at night, and you're out in your pickup truck, and you did this just for me. So, yeah, it's like a country song. So, anyway, yeah.
Yep.
So no more, or no more for tonight. But thank you for coming on here. That means a lot to me. I'll have this out Wednesday, and guys, this is fresh content. We are recording this. It is Sunday, and I'm trying to put them out at least every Wednesday. So actually miss the Christmas one, the Christmas day of. But anyway, we're gonna get so this will be out, bud, in 3 days, or whatever. 4:00 in the morning, so it'll be there before you guys could ever even think about starting to mow. So we will holler at all of y'all later, and thank you, bud, for coming on tonight. It means a lot to me. Tell your wife and the gang we said hello, and thank them for letting me steal this time, make you sit out in your truck and not be with them, because that's valuable too. My kids and stuff are here. My wife working on, making sure they're sleeping and stuff. And so, yeah, I get it. I'm right in the same boat as you. So thank you for coming on, and have an awesome week baling the hay or whatever you're doing, and we will catch up.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
All right, bud. We'll catch up soon. See ya.
All right. Thanks.
Well, there you guys have it, my man. It's so cool. You just make relationships with one cool guy after another. If you just talk to people and put out the effort to come to the expo. I met this guy in person at the expo, as well as lots of other people. And I'm not special. I'm not famous, anything like that. I just try to do my best to try to, if the opportunity presents itself, there's a guy standing in front of you, and you can ask him about his mowers or something. You never know. Like I said, like I mentioned before, there's just some random guy that has some mower dealership, and he was a super cool guy because I was just standing there anyway, and he was standing there, and we're waiting in line or whatever. You never know. When you're there at the expo, that's one of the cool things about it. So we did this on the cell phone, just on a call in his truck. So I hope there's no buzzing or anything. I'd hear just a tiny bit of crackling on my right ear of my headphones. I don't know if that's something to do with the phone. I don't know, but hopefully that wasn't noticeable to you guys. But the content is super valuable regardless. So anyway, I had all my other channels muted, and so anyway, I'll work on that. I've never had that really happen before, but it was very, very slight. So hopefully it's all, it's good for you guys. But anyway, that's a wrap. Appreciate you, and I'll get this out to you guys. See ya.